Hello everyone, and welcome to the Millquas Productions No Budget Indie Blueprint. My name is Lucas Millhouse, and I am a writer, producer, director. I have shot 3 feature films over the past 4 years, all on a shoestring budget, and I wanted to come before the YouTube audience and before the filmmaking community and kind of talk about how you can do this if you have filmmaking aspirations yourself. I wanted to give back to you. So I'm going to talk about several things. The first is an idea, a concept, and we're going to work our way all the way to film release. And it's going to be amazing. So first off, we're going to start with having an idea. And I want to recommend to you to have a doable idea, an easy idea. And also, don't do your best idea first. Do your best idea third or fourth, because you want to have the experience behind your third idea rather than your first idea. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to learn a lot of things along the way, and it will behoove you to make your best idea third, because you'll appreciate it later on, definitely. So if you don't know or have never written a screenplay before, there are a couple things that you can do to kind of start you off. The first thing you can do is try and find a book on storytelling or on screenwriting. I started off with a book called Screenwriting for Dummies because I had no idea. I had written theater pieces before, and I didn't know what I was doing. I knew there was a format. I knew there were basic elements that I was going to miss. So I got that book, and it was like $7 or $8 on Amazon. The second book that I read was Save the Cat by Blake Snyder. You can find that online for, I found a link for $11.71. You can find them probably for even cheaper in the used section, but that will give you basic bullet points of elements that you would want to include in your screenplay to make it kind of even more mainstream. It just gives you the very good things the beats that you need to hit to make a successful story. Another book that you might check out is The Writer's Journey by Chris Vogler. He goes over the hero's journey and what you need to follow a mythic structure within your writing. So that's a great book to check out. Go ahead and find it. I found it on also online for $3.79 used. There are 2 versions or 3 versions of that book out right now, so go ahead and check that out. I will leave some links in the description below. All right, so if you're looking to format your screenplay correctly, there are a couple of options. The first option that I ever used was Celtx. CELTX. You can find that at Celtx.com. They have a great online suite that you can use for your production needs or just writing. If you want to write your stories out using Celtx, it's free. It's also an app you can download onto your computer or even your phone, so you can keep writing on your phone if you're just on the train or you're waiting for a meeting of some kind. You can work on your screenplay, so Celtx. The screenwriting software that I use right now is Screenwriter 6, and I really like it. It's not the industry standard. The industry standard is Final Draft, which I will also leave a link for in the description below. I bought Screenwriter 6 for $120, and it has all the bells and whistles that I need it to have. Final Draft has all of the bells and whistles that you need, and I think it's a little bit more archaic than Screenwriter 6. It's not as amazing, but everybody in the industry uses Final Draft. So those are 3 options that you can use to easily format your screenplay to get use your dialogue and get your action correctly formatted. So I encourage you to check those out. So what I do is I make an outline. First, I want to know exactly what I'm doing first. I want to get my basic idea, and I want to put it down on paper. The people who I come across who want to make films and don't write ideas down are not the people that I want to be making films with. Because if you're going to take the time and opportunity to sit down and write your idea out, chances are you're going to take the steps to finish your film all the way through. So write it down. I use Google Docs to write everything down. I have a folder, and I put all my ideas in there, and I write my outlines, and I put all my research in there. It's really easy. So that's what I do to do that. So write an outline. You want to know basically where you're going. You want to know your beginning point, and you want to know your end point, or basically what you want to do, and then you fill in the gaps. Because if you start and you have a good idea, but you don't know where you're going, it's going to show in your film big time. So make sure to find that story arc and what you want to do. I take my idea and I will expand on it. So say for instance, if I had maybe a construction worker named Jim, I would figure out like what is his backstory. I would write a little, like a paragraph or two about that. Then I would say, oh, maybe he needs to or wants to build a house for charity or for Habitat for Humanity, and that's his overall arching goal. If he wants to get there, what are the things that he needs or wants to go through in order to fulfill his goal or fulfill his dreams? So then I just start to make paragraphs. I know people do bullet points. I do paragraphs with things that I want to happen within the story. And then I use that as a reference going back when I'm actually typing my screenplay out. Make a log line. Make a log line for your film. This is the basic overall idea of the film, and a couple of well-known good log lines examples for feature films that you can find online. If you don't know what a log line is, you can go ahead and Google it. For example, the log line for The Godfather is: the aging patriarch of an organized crime dynasty transfers control of his clandestine empire to his reluctant son. And just for another one, let's try and find the Matrix one. A computer hacker learns from mysterious rebels about the true nature of his reality and his role in the war against its controllers. So you can kind of see from those examples that a log line is the basic idea and synopsis of the film, and that will guide you to writing success. So if you find yourself in the middle of writing and you're having a difficult time progressing your story, you might want to get a screenwriting partner. Get somebody to bounce ideas off of. Get somebody to look at your story and your story structure and go, oh, here's a couple of ideas of what you might do with your story. I know we have a difficult time sometimes starting new things and keeping our ego in check because it's new and we're vulnerable to what we're doing. But you might want to get somebody to help you. Find a writing partner, someone who can work under a simple writing agreement. There are people who go over screenplays for a living. There are services for that. Only cost you probably $150 to $600 depending on what you want to do with your screenplay. So those are some ideas for you to find a screenwriting partner. I will cover contracts in the next video. So those are some basic tips about starting your screenplay and getting to a point where you have a first draft. I'll cover some more information about screenwriting and how to get past some hurdles in the next video.